And we are back, guys. Today's movie, we are looking at 1989, budget of $3 million, box office $870,000.
Oops.
This is Parents, and here we go. Great Randy Quaid movie. We have been discussing Randy Quaid on the show quite a bit in his Giant Cock and Christmas Vacation. We restarted the movie, so I'm not going to pretend like we didn't just have this conversation, but when he's shopping, he grabs near his thigh or almost towards his knee, and I can never figure out if that's a character trait or if he was just playing a prank.
You realize I'm going to be staring at Quaid's crotch the entire movie now because
Just to figure out if he's rocking it?
Looking around in those dress pants, man.
So you grew up in what would become the Camp Friday the 13th.
Right.
Wild. Did you recognize parts of it when you saw it?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And even I slept in that cabin. Oh, there's the rifle range.
That's where we let that retarded kid drown.
That's right. There you go.
It's a good synopsis of the movie.
Right. Checking out the Brady Bunch architecture here in the movie here, right?
Yeah, this is very much a stylistic parody of that kind of world.
Absolutely.
And I believe the term would be the nuclear family, though. That perfect.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be 2.5 kids. So this movie's got a very surreal feel to it. And even the idea of him carrying a kid this size. Also, if he was just kissing his wife's neck, carrying his son with an erection.
Yeah, unsettling.
Got to have a shelf to put the kid on.
I have a love-hate thing with watching old Siskel and Ebert reviews because they fucking hate some really good movies. And they just Siskel pretty much consistently hates horror movies. And they've given some bad reviews to some really good movies. But one thing that I did think that they nailed on this was that this movie is about being a kid who doesn't understand what your parents do after you go to bed.
Ooh.
Which I thought was a pretty interesting interpretation of this. Or just even like being scared of the idea of what happens when you're not in bed. I remember doing shit like this where you are afraid of, like, you try to clear it or, like, you can't have your feet hanging off the bed. That's a great cut.
Nice.
Is this supposed to be marmalade or something?
Drink your soup before it clots.
A solid joke, by the way. Underrated joke. LP.
I enjoyed
Not
that very
bad.
much. I had a history teacher who loved pranks on other teachers. So he put a rotten egg in my backpack once. So I went to the grocery store and I bought a bottle of clam juice, and I put it on my grandmother's radiator for 2 weeks. And I knew they made his coffee in the library in the morning, and I intercepted his bottle of coffee, and I filled it half with a bottle of hot 2 week on a radiator clam juice. He just rolled into class that morning, and he is from Georgia. He has a great accent. He goes, now before I tell this story, I want you people to know I need my coffee in the morning. And I don't take a sip. I take 2 or 3 big gulps. And I remember taking out the clam juice, and I didn't make the connection until later. But I take out it was just this chunky white liquid. And the librarian just screamed, "What is that?" And I realized she thought I was putting cum in his coffee.
I think she's showing a little too much cleavage there, huh?
Yeah, this whore. I got suspended from high school for stealing a golf cart. But so we wound up getting charged, and then I got kicked out of school for a month. And I got put in a program called Project Focus, which already is not a good feeling. And it was me, my 2 best friends, 2 kids that got caught bringing BB guns to school, and this kid, Rocky. And Rocky was in 7th grade, and he had to be like 6'3". Big black kid, just kicked out for fighting. His name was Rocky because he was in a fight at school, picked up a giant rock and tried to kill the kid with it.
I would do it.
And I was locked in a room with no windows with Rocky for like a month and change.
There you go.
And before he was out of school, he killed a guy with a shotgun.
God damn.
Just the thing. Me and my friend stole a golf cart, so they locked me with a murderer for a month and a half. That seems fair. So what I like about movies like this is that it's not afraid to take its time. I feel like if this movie were to come out now, you would already know exactly what's going on, who's bad, who's good, it would rush it. And I feel like movies at this in the 70s and 80s weren't afraid to take their time and really let you sit in it and not know this kid might be crazy. You know, and they might have two normal parents.
Right.
And once again, we don't know if he just caught them screwing around and that's lipstick.
Come on, baby. Let's go to bed.
The most I don't know if I ever told this on the show before. I was old. I was in like 8th grade. I was way too old for this. I was in 8th grade.
Workbook time.
Middle of the night, couldn't
These
sleep.
are your very own
And I heard my
workbooks. You may
parents.
keep them throughout the semester.
And it was
I
just the
would
real,
like you to write
the,
your names on the upper right-hand
and then it
corner
speeds
of
up.
each workbook.
And he's like, and then done. I hear my dad get up for a glass of water. And I go, thank God that's over.
We do not get out of our
And then my mom came in my room and checked to see if I was breathing in my sleep, like you would with a child. So not only did I hear my parents fuck, I found out that up until like 13, my mom routinely checked on my breathing like an infant. It was a big day of embarrassment.
Jesus, man. What'd you do? Put a mirror up to your, see if it
No,
fogs?
she put her hand on my chest. And I was like, this lady just fucked. So the family is Emily. That actually is probably a reference to Carl Laemmle Jr., who produced Frankenstein, Dracula, The Mummy, and The Invisible Man. I really enjoy the tone of this in that you don't exactly know if the kid's fucked up or if the parents are crazy yet. And what so up to this point, nothing, I guess other than the bed of blood, there's been nothing particularly
Right.
out of this world, as now we're assuming that this sausage is wrapping around this little boy. By the way, I know it's obvious for some people, the way you do an effect like that is you actually wrap it around the kid and then unwrap it and show the footage backwards.
Right. There you go.
I really enjoy
this-
some of these effects.
Yeah, and this kid is like, no reaction. Oh, there's always a chopped up hand coming out of the garbage disposal. And the canisters on top of the refrigerator, they always bleed blood.
So I'm trying to figure out if these black and white shots. So supposedly, a lot of people dream in black and white. I'm trying to figure out if that's supposed to signify that the kid's dreaming. But I almost like it better that he's not reacting as opposed to he was just screaming the whole movie. Because it gives it, again, that, surrealness.
That's tough, though, if you're dreaming of your parents fucking.
Not only that, biting each other and drawing blood.
Yeah.
That's a scary shot.
Subdued Randy Quaid is the most unsettling part of this movie. So
I like how he's playing. He's playing it so understated. Yeah, I feel like a lot of actors would be tempted to play it creepier or more evil.
he's got menacing down to a science.
Yeah.
So now we are finally to the point where he's not dreaming.
Yeah,
And,
because this
he's
isn't in black
established-
and white. I was
He's
gonna say.
established that there is something nefarious going on with body parts. This is creepier than the parents, by the way.
That the school psychologist is going to take you home to make you confront demons.
No school psychologist has ever cared about a child.
No.
Never in history have they cared about a child's well-being.
I know I talked through that, but who's trying to stab her?
We have not seen.
We don't know yet.
Oh, good idea.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So I would assume this scene. This is very much a take on Jamie Lee Curtis trapped in the closet in Halloween.
Oh.
The music choice, I actually really enjoy that.
Yeah.
It's not scary music.
Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Honest question: you gotta eat a person. What ethnicity are we going?
I've thought about this in preparation. It's
it's got to be Hispanic, right?
Yes. I also had a theory that if you ate an Indian person, if you like the taste of curry, because it's so prevalent in their diet that you can go into an Indian household and know who it is. That if you like that food, I feel like eating an Indian person will taste that way.
Yeah, it's like grass-fed beef.
That's right.
Yeah, you have to. For me, I'd say it's a Hispanic woman because you figure they're thick in the parts that would probably be the best cuts.
Oh, so we're talking marbling then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm talking like Wagyu beef. I'm talking like. Overall presentation. This has been a very simple story done well.
A little drawn out though.
Yeah, it could have.
Slow to build, but
could have been a little shorter. And then, of course, because it wouldn't be this kind of movie without a final reveal, that's where the parents learned to be cannibals from. This is Zach Amico's Midnight Spook Show. I'm Zach saying thank you and good night.